Okay.
Well, my name is Samuel Adam Cox, Jr. And what is your name, sweetheart?
And my name is Audrey Ackerman Cox.
And I tell you, it was real difficult trying to keep up with this girl. Really difficult. It was a case of, you know, I had to stand in line. But then I got up to where we moved back to New Orleans, and then this is how we started to gravitate. While Audrey was in school, she was 16 at the time, I was going with a buddy in high school by the name of Al. And Al had a sister by the name of Adelaide. And Adelaide went to the same school, was in the same class with Audrey, with Mom.
She was not a Jolly Tenor.
No, she wasn't a Jolly 10 either. So anyway, Al said to me one day, he said, "Hey, Sam," he said, "look," he said, "my little kid sister's going to have a Valentine party, and she had a bunch of kids are going to come over, and she said there's a lot of goodies there. Why don't you come on over to the house? We'll eat some goodies. Daddy's got some beer in the refrigerator."
Now, this was when you were in college.
See, I was already in college, and she was in high school because I'm 5 years older than she. So Al and I were sitting down. We drank a beer, and we were eating a lot of goodies. And after a while, we heard all the music and the laughing going on because they were having a party in the living room and the dining room. And there must have been around about 20 couples out there. So Al said, "Hey, Sam," he said, "let's go in there and see what the kids are doing." So I said, "Okay, that's fine. Let's go see what they're doing." So we went in there, and who do I spot but Audrey? And when I spotted her, right away, boy, something lit up in me like you wouldn't believe. So there's those little hearts that have writing on them, you know, "I love you," or something, "you're pretty," or something like that. Anyway, I started looking around, and I got something cute, and then she was dancing with some little jackass. So I went over there, and I gave her that little heart, and she read that heart, and first thing you know, she went over and she found something, and she gave me a heart with something on. So I never did dance with her. Or did I dance with you?
No, you didn't.
No, I never did dance with her. But anyway, that went on for at least an hour. And
It's time for me to go home then.
when it was time to go home, before I left, and the young ones all went away, I told my buddy Al, I said, "You know something, Al?" I said, "if that little girl Audrey had a couple more years on her, I think I could really go for her in a big way." And that was the end of that. I never did see her then for about 2 years later. And by that time, she was in college, and I was already up there. And so one day, I was standing outdoors on Canal Street for lunch, waiting for someone to come along, and we were going to go to lunch together. And who should pass but Audrey and her mother? And I hadn't seen her for 2 years. And by then she was a freshman in college. So as she passed, she recognized me and I recognized her. And she was walking with her mother. So she stopped her mother and she said, "Mother, come over. I want you to meet somebody." And she came, she says, "Hello, Sam, remember me?" And I said, "Yes, you're Audrey." And this was the beginning of the greatest love affair that ever befell me, or man or woman. Yeah, well, you remember the first date. I took you to the opera.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. And of all places, I mean, at my age, the opera was not my forte. But when we sat down and they dimmed the lights, I said, "Well, I'm going to put my glasses on." So I opened up my glasses case, and it was the kind of glasses case that had a spring in it, and it squeaked. And he looked at me and he said, "Shh." Well, that absolutely mortified me, this old man telling me to be quiet. So I thought I'll never go out with him again. Well, when I went home, my mother always waited up for me. And when I came, she said, "Well, did you have a good time?" Because she was kind of uneasy about my dating somebody older than I was. I said, "I'm not going to date that old man anymore. He shushed me." So, but I changed my mind.
Well, I tell you, we dated. We dated for I guess about 2 years. She was going steady with some. Not well, wasn't going steady with him, but he had a steady date with her on Saturday. Every Saturday, it was his Saturday to date her.
Don't get
And
into
she-
that.
She,
Don't get into that.
don't get into that.
No.
Well, yeah, you had me out there hanging on a limb, and I wanted to date you on a Saturday, but I couldn't date her on a Saturday. But anyway, I was persistent. I kept on. So over a period of about a year and a half, she finally told me one day when I called and said, Audrey, I'd like to have a date with you Saturday. Now, I had to call about a week in advance to get a date with her because if you didn't call in and get a date early, there was too many guys calling to get dates, and she was dated up, and I couldn't go out with her. She was dating on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and man, if you didn't call maybe a month in advance and get yourself scheduled, you didn't go out with Audrey Ackerman. But anyway, finally one Friday night, I think it was, I called on a Sunday, I think, to get a date, or Saturday or something. Anyway, I called and I said, how about a date next Saturday? I said, how about a date Sunday? She said, well, okay, fine. And then she said, oh, by the way, she said, you know, I'm not dating that boy anymore, and my Saturdays are open. I said, hot diggity damn, boy. Man, oh, man, oh, man. So anyway, I started getting my dates on the Saturday and Sunday, and it kept going on and on and on.
Until the war. Well, Hitler was really making some rumbling sounds in Europe, and there was a lot of talk about the draft being instituted, and so we